back with the glove. Stop resisting. Resist.
America, the federal government just found a glove that turns a grown man into a puddle on a convention center floor in under 3 seconds. That's the setup. Here's the twist. The thing that everybody's losing their mind over delivers less voltage than a taser already sitting in the same agent's belt. Less, and it's already been quietly zapping people in jails and hospitals for years, and nobody is holding a single press conference about it.
We can show you here. This is the company president actually demonstrating this on a subject. And look, he does take him down there in about 3 seconds or less.
What is up, guys? Tyson DeLaCruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Here's what it actually is. There's no spin on this required here. It is called CTG5 Glove. Stands for Generated Low Output Voltage Emitter, which is a very expensive way of saying a mitten that sits your butt down, okay? It works on bare skin, and it's going to be worn by ICE and customs officers who are already currently getting death threats up to 9,000% a year. And the government is about to spend up to $20 million putting it in their hands. You know that little shock that you get when you grab the shopping cart handle at the grocery store in the parking lot in the summer? That's roughly the ceiling on this thing here. 380 volts max. A regular taser, just for the scope, just so you guys can understand this, a regular taser, the one that police officers already carry on their belts, that nobody is really crying about, delivers over 1,000. Now follow the actual sequences here with me. This exact technology has already been strapped onto corrections officers and jails, police officers, security staff at the mall and hospitals, and a school district in Omaha, Nebraska bought it as well to use around children to zap the kids, okay? And not one senator, not one left lamestream media outlet held a press conference about it. Not one. It only became quote unquote torture. It's torture. They're gonna tase one. You better run, Humberto. You better run. They're gonna tase you with a glove. You gotta run, Humberto. Humberto's gonna be running straight into the ground after he gets zapped by this glove, okay? Not one. It only became quote unquote torture this week when ICE put their name attached to the purchase order. The company that makes it, Compliant Technologies, is a service disability veteran-owned small business out of Lexington, Kentucky. Shout out to Lexington, Kentucky. And who do you think went on camera and called the customer the worst trained, most aggressive law enforcement that you'd ever seen? The governor of Kentucky, okay, just publicly trashed the product built in his own state by his own constituents, employing his own voters because the buyers wearing it wasn't the buyers that he wanted to see wearing it.
My concern isn't that they exist or that there's a contract for them. It's that they are going to the worst trained, most aggressive law enforcement unit I have ever seen.
Reportedly going to spend millions to arm ICE agents with what are effectively taser gloves. It sounds crazy, but for context, here's how one company demonstrated these gloves on a deputy. They're also saying that ICE will only release, by the way, body-worn camera footage when it's in the agency's best interests. Taser gloves. We saw Greg Bavino and his agents throwing chemical agents or smoke grenades, flashbangs on the streets of Minneapolis. Now, we look at these things. Taser gloves, it almost sounds crazy to say. What type of an escalation does this feel like to you, if you feel that way?
I mean, it's horrific, right? These are like torturous devices.
Now you and me can be a humanitarian per se, okay? Deeply sensitive at times. And even we can read the company's own user manual and see that the glove has already been banned on kids. Duh, okay? Can you imagine kids wearing the glove and just zapping each other playing tag? Okay, they're okay. Little Johnny's getting zapped, and then he squirts his pants. It's been banned from pregnant women. Duh. This is obvious. And elderly people. and people with disabilities. The last thing you want to do is blast somebody that's already in a wheelchair, okay? Letitia James found the time to threaten a private right of action before the contract was even finalized. The manufacturer found the time to write safety limits on this glove before anybody asked.
Of course we are outraged.
New York Attorney General Letitia James sounding off on ICE's plan to buy gloves that can deliver painful electric shocks. According to a notice published in a DHS database, ICE plans to spend up to $20 million on special patrol gloves that would allow users to press a button and activate an electrical mode. The glove then must be applied directly to the skin, produce a voltage that causes pain, intended to get compliance from people who are resisting.
Appears to be in violation of a number of laws, including our Constitution, the Administrative Procedure Act. In the event that a New Yorker is injured as a result of these gloves, obviously there will be a private right of action as well as action from the state of New York. You can best be assured of that.
You guys want to know what actually happens when you get grabbed by one of these? Okay. It's not a lightning bolt. Okay. Like, it's nothing like that, okay? It's not a defibrillator that's going to restart your heart. A guy who studies in custody deaths for a living called it a bee sting. A bee sting, you guys. And the left is losing it. A distributor said the average person complies inside 3 seconds. So okay, I'm going to surrender. Okay, this is what happens. It's not a horror story. A bee sting. 3-second time limit. Picture a school board meeting in Omaha where they actually approved this thing on campus, because that meeting genuinely happened and nobody in the country got to watch it. Some PTA mom stands up at the podium with the folder full of printouts and stuff and says, I just want to make sure that we're comfortable putting this device on our resource officers' hands that can deliver an electrical charge to a student. And the superintendent, without blinking, says, ma'am, it's already on our football coach's belt for the tailgate lot. Motion passes 7-0. Coffee and donuts in the lobby afterwards.
We've learned that the city of Omaha purchased these same types of gloves for school resource officers to use. Now, I talked with a public information officer for Omaha Police. They say 29 out of 34 school resource officers are trained to use these gloves. That's with the Omaha Public School District. Now, they say that the gloves have less voltage than a taser, and they say they've been deployed twice.
Nobody live streamed it. Nobody called it torture. And here's the part, everything you need to know about the actual outrage itself. You can spit on a federal officer. You can swing a bike lock at his skull. You can bite a chunk of his forearm out while he's trying to cuff you. And the absolute worst thing that happens to you in return is a 3-second tingle and a bad attitude for the rest of the afternoon. That's the quote-unquote instrument of torture that the ACLU is losing sleep over.
They are meant to cause pain. They are meant to torture. These instruments of torture do not belong in any democratic society. So
same device, same voltage, same manufacturer, same manual. It sat quietly inside of county jails and psych wards for years and generated absolutely zero outrage. They were tasering fools, okay? Because nobody was watching who touched it. It was just corrections officers. The instant that ICE and DHS picks it up, it becomes a human rights violation on cable news. Guys, they're tasering Juans. They're tasering Juans. You got to get them. The glove didn't change. The audience they're performing for did.
Go from 0 to 100, right? And first thing you go for is lethal force. So, we have OC spray. We have tasers. So the glove is, the latest thing they're looking at to help in situations.
$10 to $20 million. That's the whole line item. For context, that's roughly what one funeral home embezzles, skims off of Medicaid in North Carolina in a bad quarter. Except this $20 million actually buys a working product that shortens fights and keeps guns holstered. You want to talk about a bad ROI, return on investment? Go look at a homeless authority that burned into billions of dollars and tripled its homeless population. California, okay? The glove has a receipt, a manual, and a 3-second guarantee. Somebody in the ICE agent's chain of command decided that officers getting attacked at 1,400% rate higher deserves a tool between yelling and shooting at people. That decision got made on a date by people who actually have to answer the door when the call comes in. Nobody forced anybody to insult its own state manufacturer on camera. America, the same device, the same 380 volts, the same 5-second limit sat inside jail cells for years and nobody called a press conference. The second that it's going into ICE officers' hands, it becomes a torture instrument, a civil rights violation, a lawsuit waiting to happen. Nothing about the glove changed, only the target. Letitia James found the outrage in about 4 hours. It took her considerably longer to find any concern for the officers, taking a spike in real threats. It's funny how a bee sting only stings when the right people are wearing it. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.